right, and we are live, and this is episode 22, and today
Yep, we're
is
back.
Monday, January 4th. God, it's been a while, hasn't it, folks? In fact,
2021.
it is the new year. You think we would have done like a New Year's finale or some shit, but the truth of the matter
Nah,
is that Blues contracted coronavirus and he just recovered and he almost died. He lost his sense of
yeah.
taste and he has a
I'm
bad.
on 70%
Yep.
oxygen.
He has a bad liver now, so he can't even drink. He's just.
Yeah, my taste buds are dead.
Yeah. I mean,
Tear ducts drained.
yeah.
All that shit.
Yeah, we all sent him
So Blues is in
flowers.
bad. Blues is in bad shape.
And the Blues is not doing. He's just recovering. I mean, that's our attempt at a joke, folks. I mean, he's not. We were gonna do something different, but this worked. So Blues is
It's like
fine.
coronavirus. We gotta be relevant. We gotta be
Yeah,
topical.
topical. I like that word. That's a good word. Topical. So we haven't done
Like
a
a
show.
topical ointment.
Yeah, so the last show we did was on the I believe the 7th of December. So we have a lot to
Nice.
catch up on. Like there's really a lot to cover. Probably might we might only want to cover some of it and save the rest for because we're going to have a I think we're at least going to have two episodes where we basically go over all the shit that's happened and kind of the new concept we've come up with and all that shit, man. So and the fact that I ventured out and I got kicked out by a Timo, we haven't even talked about that drama. I should make that into a drama. I should go back over there and be like, you can't stop me from coming on this side of Timo. Make a big deal about it for no reason. But we'll talk more about that. So what are we talking about first, Blues? You're charting the course of this podcast adventure.
Let's see.
Tell us what's on the agenda. And Stoner Piccolo's joining us, so it's good. It's
Gotta
gonna be
pull out the
good.
script.
It's gonna be good. I guess
Gotta pull out the script.
I guess while he's doing that and being lame and shit, I'll explain why we haven't really done any podcasts.
All right, here we go.
Wait, I gotta tell him before. Then we can do
Nope.
it. Oh, so we're just going. We're not gonna explain why we haven't been on air and like.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
The
Go
the, the
ahead.
real the real issue is that we've been having communication issues because Blues like not only does he fall asleep and not do finish RPs because he gets too wasted, but he also fucks up by like having bad connections. It's just like everything's bad. Then he got a Chromebook and it made it worse. So I feel that Blues is Blues is like a Chinese motorcycle. It just keeps falling apart no matter how much you put it back together. It's low quality blues, right? And that's what we're gonna call you now. It's low quality blues until you redeem yourself. You
It
know,
is what it is.
low quality blues. So you're like a Walmart product. You take it.
Hey, well, you know what, bitch? If I'm Walmart Target, if I'm a Walmart product, you're a Target product. Not that much better.
I mean, do Targets even still exist? I think they do.
Yes,
I think I've seen one. I think I've seen
They
one
still
they do
exist,
down
just
here. Shit.
limited.
in limited editions. They exist. They're becoming rarer. I like Target. Target's nice, but you know why I like Target? I like anything but Walmart because there's less people, and that's almost worth going there and spending more money.
Nah, there's usually a lot of people at Target.
They're not at the Targets in Virginia. Everybody goes to the
Yeah,
WalMarts.
that's because Virginia Targets suck ass. Because
Uh,
Virginia sucks ass.
actually the Target that's close by is really nice. It's just nobody goes in
No,
there.
it's not. No,
Yeah,
it's not.
which I
Why does
like
nobody go in there? Why does nobody go in there?
because they,
Because it's
they
not
get better
nice.
deals at Walmart even though their
Because it's
products are
not nice.
trash. And
because it's not nice.
to be fair, there are some nice WalMarts, but they're just Virginia goes
few and
up.
far in between.
Say what?
Yeah, there is nice Walmarts, but they're just few and far in between.
That's true. And plus, Virginia goes off of like rural rules or some shit to where like they can't imagine anybody trying to go into Walmart like at midnight. So they close all the Walmarts now at like because of the bat flu shit, they close even earlier. So it's like 10 or 11 o'clock. Because I used to like to go when I was working on the boats. I would like to go and I would fucking go like at 3 a.m. and go grocery shopping when there's nobody there. It's perfect. It's a perfect time to go grocery shopping. So now I go to the commissary and it's even worse. Like if you want to be in line forever with a whole bunch of sick boomers, go to the military commissary. You know,
Yeah, man. All right, so what do we got first on the agenda today?
there's a lot to talk about. There's plenty. You know,
Saga news.
where did
Saga news.
last time
Saga news.
we were talking about
Saga news.
well, imagine back on December 7th what was going on, and you could see.
I think we were still in the middle of the heist plot line. And we're still kind
Yeah,
of at the beginning of that.
yeah. I think we were talking about like how Rom had fucked over Radazu, and how he sent him on a suit like a. Basically, what happened was is that because of how Blues has a tendency, and this is more out of character. Blue has a tendency to. I don't know why he just had it in his mind that he wanted Radazu to kind of create an empire within an empire or some shit. So he went out into the the what is it called, the galactic, no, it's a PTO warlord space, and he was like trying to make deals by himself and get his own shit going. So you know I was like, well, what would Rom do in that situation? And he would find out about it, and I figured that's what he would do. He would send him on a suicide mission. And even if he survived, like he figures if he did come back, he would kind of learn his lesson. Or Ron would just kill him. I mean, if he did come back. So um, it actually worked out a lot better than I thought, because I really thought Blues got really salty about this. Like, why are you betraying me, man? It's like just give it some time, and it turned out really well.
I was high that day.
Oh, you were high. Is that why you were salty? Is because of the weed?
Yeah, I was like super fucking high off the shrooms.
So you say you get emotional when you get high. And we
Well, I
were.
was high because I had. Well, see, I was high, and that day I had a specific idea of what I wanted to do
Oh,
with the event, and you
okay.
were like derailing it because you wanted to do what you wanted to do.
Yeah,
I
I
was
can.
like, man, I just wanted fucking Radazu to come in here and just blow shit up. He was like, no, we need to do story and plot and characters, and like it worked out. I was salty that day, yeah.
Yeah,
But
I done right. I done right. You were all like
you did okay.
You wanted
You did okay.
explosions, but
You did okay.
this is the way. This is
You
definitely
did all right.
all right.
All right, Mandalorian.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you did
I
okay.
haven't talked about that yet. How I binge watched the whole thing when we were off air. That was amazing.
Sad.
That is like,
That's sad.
I mean, that's one of the best things I've watched in a very long time.
That's sad.
So yeah,
Right.
Romanus. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, am I more sober than Blues is right now, or is Blues just tired as fuck?
No,
I
I'm
don't
high as
know.
shit right now.
Yeah. Well, he means high on
Oh.
life because we're a drug-free podcast.
No, we're
We
not.
don't want to get we don't want to get kicked off of YouTube and forced to be on BitChute or some shit like
Oh,
the edgy YouTube.
yeah, we're 2011 YouTube.
Yeah. So yeah. So to make a long story short, because we have a lot to cover, Radazu was doing shady shit, and Rom found out, and so to get rid of him or just to teach
I
him
mean,
a
it
good.
wasn't that shady though.
I mean, if in any dictatorship where
It wasn't that
in
shady
any
though.
dictatorship where a high-ranking official was trying to create his own power base, what do you think a Stalin or Hitler or Mussolini would do? Let's do it.
Saddam's not Stalin, Hitler, or Mussolini.
Let's do a dictator pop quiz of what they would do with that person.
Saddam's not either one of them,
He's technically a military dictator as
but
a
he's
same
not
war.
either one of them.
Yeah, but they all kind of have the same kind of pattern and wanting to hold on to power. So it's not really that
Okay,
different.
well, either way, it wasn't that shady.
Yeah. Well, regardless, he sent you on kind of a suicide mission, and then you ran into Cooler, and they killed your squad. So then you had a vendetta against Cooler, which plays in more in what we're going to talk about in a little bit. But that's where Radazu he went out hunting for like Rom told him to, knowing it was kind of a suicide mission because they only gave him one ship, and he went to Blue Haven. Was it Blue Haven? No,
It
New
was
Haven.
New Haven.
He went to
New Haven.
New Haven, which is an asteroid colony. It's kind of the backstory of that place in space was it used to be patrolled by the Galactic Patrol, but because of the chaos in space, they kind of left it alone to its own devices, so it became a space pirate hangout. So it's an asteroid, and they live inside the asteroid. So it's kind of like underground tunneled cities, which is kind of a cool concept. And so Radazu went in there. He met Iris, which Iris is a I just made it up on her canon name. They're Ryokans, so they have silver hair, and they are humanoid. So Radazu got in a scuffle with people at one of the bars, the Tuffle bar. Iris saved him, and then they kind of made a deal to where they're gonna steal Frieza's treasure because she needs somebody who is strong enough to take on the Ginyu Force because she can't take him alone. Even though she's strong enough to take on, maybe one of them by herself. Like that's the problem, and so that's where Radazu comes in because one of the vacant spaces in the asteroid they had a little sparring session, and Radazu proved that he's beyond what even like an elite or super elite warrior would be like. Since Iris's backstory is she's a former PTO soldier who actually fought Rom in a skirmish and almost won before Corsair shoot her off. So it's even more interwoven into the plot because Rom actually knows who she is because she's like one of the only PTO that almost killed him. Because she has a technique to where she can calm herself down to almost like a robotic trance, and basically she can basically conserve her energy and just dodge everything. As long as the person's on par. It doesn't work so well with people who are stronger, but I never really worked out that technique. But I remember Rom fighting Iris when she was using it. I'd have to go back because I kind of forgot about that. I didn't even use it when they fought the Ginyu
You
Force.
idiot.
Yeah. Yeah, we might have to retcon a few things with that and be like, but it's whatever. So, yeah, then Radazu and Iris, they go into space, they go on some adventures, they go to some
Yeah, they get
planets.
chased by a couple bounty hunters.
Yeah, you pick it up. You tell the rest of the story.
They get chased by some bounty hunters. They go to a couple exotic locations. Cause what did we have? We had New Haven,
You had the rain
and
planet.
they were in space for a little bit. They were on the rain planet. Then they went to that beach planet. And was that it?
Uh,
Before they got to Frieza 17?
yeah, pretty much. It was just like
Okay,
side
well, yeah.
quest like shit. So the
Yeah.
big finale was on Frieza 17, which I guess I'll go a little bit in the backstory without going too deep. It's basically Frieza's missing, and Frieza accumulated all this treasure over his reign. So he made a base and he put all his treasure into this vault. So when he went missing, the planet and the facility were still there. Captain Ginyu, because of the way he decided. Well, first of all, the Ginyu Force was in charge of the treasure, and Captain Ginyu decided he wasn't going to side with any of the warlords. So basically, this Frieza 17 with the treasure has been a neutral player while all these warlords have been fighting, and nobody's really messed with Captain Ginyu because they were afraid to piss him off and that his forces would join whatever rival warlord they were against. So they were basically left alone on this like forest world with the treasure. But Iris had been stationed on that world when she used to work in the PTO. So she had been stationed there. She knew the Ginyu Force were there. And she also knew where the treasure was because she'd done guard duty there. And that's how everything kind of came together. So Iris and Radazu get on the planet. They fight the Ginyu Force. They
It
manage.
goes well.
It goes pretty well. Iris gets injured. She barely beats Captain Ginyu because Ginyu's stronger than her, but she pulls out a key weapon when they're in close combat, and basically, because Ginyu was trying to choke her out, the key javelin just went right through his chest, and then she slashed him in half. So that was his mistake. But then on Captain Ginyu, he wouldn't have known that she had that technique on her. So it was kind of like it was just like bad luck, really, more than anything. So
And Cooler, I mean, no. Radazu, he slaughtered fucking Birder, Jace, and Raccoon.
yeah.
That was chump change.
Well, I think with C-Box events too, they kind of, depending on how much we put into them, they kind of the combat goes by a lot faster than it would on the forums.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'd be willing to redo it on the forums because I don't know. I'd have to have a lot of motivation, but it was a good C-Box event. I mean, I tried to add a little bit of spice in there, like Jace was trying to hit on this other Brinchian chick who was stationed there that had blue skin like Salza, and Birder and Raccoon were playing ping pong in like this recreation area. Captain Ginyu was like he was in the mess hall and was having lunch, and he hated that the food was disorganized, so he was like organizing the food, which kind of plays into his personality of being the guy who's all trying to keep everything together. And of course Goldo got the short end of the stick, and he's guarding the treasure with a few other henchmen.
And the twist we had. What? Well, first we got to get to Radazu versus Cooler, which was the surprise because we were just gonna have the heist at first.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? Just have Cooler show up. So Radazu fights Cooler.
Iris and Goldo helped because you forgot to
Yeah, they
mention
did
the whole
help.
thing. The whole thing was that Goldo was the only Ginyu Force guy left. And then I talked to Blues behind the scenes, and I'm like, why don't we just let Goldo join them? Like, why not? Why not just do something? Because then in the future, if Iris and Radazu and Goldo come back, people are going to ask, like, new members are going to be like, why the fuck is Goldo with those two people? And it just adds to the lore. It's like, oh, well, there was this whole fight on Frieza 17 with all over treasure and shit. So I was like, yeah. It made sense. Why not have Goldo survive out of them all? Because nobody would even expect that. I don't have
Right.
I don't have really a liking for Goldo. My favorite Ginyu Force member is definitely Jace. Probably Birder is a second. So, having
How dare you put Berta at second, you bastard!
you can actually, oh shit, you can do a Birder voice. I like that. Shit.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Man, if we ever tried to do like RP DBZ like D&D and we had to do the actual voices, that you could definitely be a birder. That'd be fun. That'd be fun. So, let's see. So yeah, Goldo ended up joining him because Iris was like, "Hey," I think the whole thing was Iris was injured. And they still needed to load the treasure, and she looked at Goldo and she's like, "I need somebody who can help out with this." So she's like, "Listen, you either join us or you're gonna die like the rest of them." And Goldo's like, "Well, fuck it. It didn't really matter." Because the way I explained it behind the scenes to Blues, even if even if Goldo said no, and somehow Cooler defeated them all, Cooler's gonna look at Goldo and be like, you failed me, or what if they got away with the treasure and
Right.
Goldo's left there, and he's like, well, why didn't you stop them? He's like, you're a waste of space, and Cooler would have probably killed Goldo. I don't think he's that cool of a. I'm not sorry for the pun, but he's not that cool of a person to spare him after that much failure. Yeah, I'm not doing lame puns here. I'm sorry. We're not.
I think he's even cooler than that. I had to shoot myself in the fucking head.
What do you think so far of the plot, Piccolo? You think it's pretty good for?
Dude, I'm not paying that much attention. Don't take any investment into what I have to say.
Well, just say what you feel. Like, is it pretty decent for community standards as far as DBZ? As much effort as we're putting into it. Be honest. Just kind of lame. Just say it. I don't. I like,
Well, you and both you and Blues, you both have more fucking effort and energy put into the site than pretty much most of the other sites that I've seen. Other than oh god, what were those three British people that I can't remember, that Baron and the other two, Riven and
Oh, you're not gonna mention the art trio on the show, are you? Oh.
hey, the only
Oh.
thing I'm gonna hey, what I will say is that they put more time into it, but their time was like shitty and not well spent. Like they made like just garbage material and just shoved it out in as much mass as they could. But you two have actually been putting good substance into it. You're not pushing it out at the same rate because you shouldn't be doing that anyway. You actually have more quality instead of quantity into your material. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, we actually had to agree to slow down, which is when we transition to talking about the Z teens, that will kind of explain why we're going that route. But yeah, as far as me in the future, it's like I've already told a lot of people, but I guess we're telling the audience. My whole thing is a lot of my villains are either gonna come to their conclusion or they're gonna end. I'll have Moth Violet and Sorora, but I'll be writing a lot of forum posts as backstory, and I'm actually going to be working on Krillin and Blues with the Stellar Saiyan Twilight stuff, which will be cool. And I want to do a lot of backstory. I think it's time for me to finally take a back seat. We got the sister site coming out soon, so I got to take a back seat and allow Blues and the new members when they come to kind of like take over, because if people, we've had a long stretch before we've done another podcast, and one of the things I've noticed is it's really been uh, Blues and I have been doing a lot of the activity right now, and that's fine. We should do it, because what happens on most sites when there's a lot of less activity, the admins won't do anything. That's the wrong move. Like, I remember when Blues and I were first talking about Legends, what we planned on doing is we were going to run the show regardless of how many people. Like, we were just going to pretend it's an anime and do episodes. So in the spirit of that, yeah, we're just gonna keep it going regardless. So if I like RPing with Blues. I mean, we could just do it by ourselves, really, if we wanted to. It'd get kind of boring sometimes, but we could do it because we always find new interesting avenues to go. Um, so it's yeah, I think everything will work out the way it's going. But yeah, I think we're okay. The art. Okay, what's that noise? Somebody's sounds like a weasel's like scurrying around.
It's not me.
Oh, okay. It's all good.
Is it me?
Yeah, I think it might be you, but it's all good.
Let me switch to push to talk real quick. I might have background noise.
Oh, that's okay.
Having some whatever come
Um,
in there.
I think going back to the art trio before we move on. That's Tenya, Riven, Antoinette. And if people are listening to this and they're like, who the fuck are the art trio? They were the admins that took over after Tim and Pat had left on Anthology. Because that's when I got there, was when Tim and Pat were still there, but they were kind of like, they weren't there all the time. Because that's what I remember the feel of the site being. It's like I was really excited when Tim and Pat would be playing Goku and Vegeta because I've never seen. That was the first time I ever saw anybody play those characters. So it was fun. It was new and exciting to me, but they weren't there that much. And really, what you usually got with the art trio, they were always there. And so, what their biggest problem was is, and this is why at first I was, as an angry noob, I was very pro canon, is because they were like the exact opposite. They were very about original characters, and they had their own galaxy, which wasn't part of the main story. And I was like everything against that. I think, for the most part, I was kind of wacky back then too, because I gave like Romanus a last name, and I just didn't give a fuck. But I was very loyal to, trying to do Saiyan shit, I guess. But yeah, they didn't want to do a lot of canon stuff. I think Blues and I, we kind of balance it out a little bit more. Like we do OC shit, and we've added the magic, the magic lore where so there's magic characters, but we never strayed too far away from the canon material. I wouldn't really want to do like Dragon Ball Z straight canon material either.
Right.
Like it'd get too boring and one dimensional, for me at least. So I think it's the only way I can continue doing DBZ is that, like, we can have DBZ as a concept and as like the key theory and stuff, but I'm not gonna. I can't. I couldn't do it. I can't do it now. You know, I couldn't just play cannons and just keep it strictly Dragon Ball Z. Because I'm even worse than most people who are super loyal to the canon. Because I would want it to be DBZ, so I wouldn't even want a lot of elements of GT and Super. So it'd be even more restrictive. So nobody wants that. So, but what's your thoughts, Blues? Before we move on, about our style of doing things and our vow to kind of keep the plot moving no matter what. Because a lot of people don't think of the long game. Like if we build the lore and the activity, maybe Legends will pop off. Maybe not this year, but next year, maybe for some reason. Like who knows? This is like any kind of thing. Like if you had a YouTube channel or even this podcast where there's barely anybody listening, like that's how everybody started off. So what do you think about all that? I want to hear your hot take, Blues.
What happened? I couldn't hear what you said. What'd you say?
You couldn't hear any of that, did you?
I cut out. What'd you say?
I said, what do you think of how our style of doing things and our vow to kind of keep the plot going no matter what, stuff like that.
I mean, obviously I like it. I wouldn't be RPing this way if I didn't.
Yeah.
No, I think we're doing it at a pretty good pace. Seems like people are paying attention. People like it.
Yeah.
Except Piccolo, he just doesn't give a fuck about anything, though.
Stoner Piccolo.
Oh, I care more than you would think. I'm just, I don't have the fucking time.
Yeah. He is kind of strained on time.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's things that I think you guys should, like, not do, I will.
Yeah, I think if we created like a team of magical girls, I think then Stoner Piccolo might step in and be like, that's a little too much.
Yeah, that's retarded.
You already have a team of magical girls. They're in the Z teens. You got Moth and Urine and probably somebody else I can't think of. I don't know. I mean,
yeah,
it's not too egregious yet,
No, they're not
I'm cool with it.
they're not really like they're not like the stereotypical magical girl, so that's why it works. Like Urine's magic is like putting those talismans to make zombies. Like that's not really her magic stick. And really, Moth Violet isn't even magic. She uses Dark Key. It's just she manifested kind of the persona of a magical girl because of her backstory. So I didn't even make her a magical girl. So There was only one time. I'll give the people the hot lore of me out of character. There was one time I was considering playing a legit magical girl, and I discussed this on a different Discord channel, not even that long ago, where I actually have a really good concept for it if I did it. It'd be Magica Pink. It'd be the most like fucking like purely magical girl, but she's a bounty hunter like the Mandalorian. And the thing is the villains are almost more afraid that they're gonna lose their reputation, so they lose their nerve than they are like concerned about her power. So she actually starts to get a break at first because she catches low level villains and they're more concerned about, like, she might have caught a few already and they like lost her reputation. So that's kind of the thing that gets her through it. But I thought it'd be hilarious. Like, that's more for like a site that nobody knows me. Because on that I can kind of like, if I went into space as Magica Pink and that was my shtick and I was a bounty hunter, like, it would just be fun to piss people off in space who are like badass villains, and like this pint-sized like magical girl just beats them and takes them to like space jail. Like, it'd just be fucking hilarious to me. It'd be more of a trolling thing, but see, there always has to be a twist. Like, I can't just play like a heroic one who's gonna say, "Oh, you gotta like, I'm all about love." It's just I like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna twist it in a way that where it's fun for me. Like, I can't play like a Sailor Moon cookie cutter heroic magical girl. But yeah, maybe you might, if you ever see Magica Pink on a random site and there's a lot of mad people, it's probably me. It's probably gonna be me at some point. But
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't know. I might keep that secret from you guys if I do it, because I don't want you guys
Yeah,
to ruin it.
yeah.
I don't want you guys to ruin it for me. You guys would ruin my secret because they won't know who I am. It'd be one of those sites. So yeah. So I don't know though. I don't even have enough time for the characters I do got. So that's more like a fun project. But yeah. So we talked about space. Now coming soon is Battle Canassa, and that really, there's a lot of. Do we want to really go into Battle Canassa yet, or are we going to save that for next episode? What else do we have to talk about?
I don't know. It depends. Are we gonna do another episode anytime soon or what?
Well, yeah, we should. Next time you're off, we'll just do another episode because we got a lot to cover, and I can honestly only stay for another hour before I have to start prepping for
Okay. Well, yeah. We can save it for
Yeah.
we can save it for next episode then.
But I guess I'll talk more about my adventures when we were off. Like I
Whoa. We still got. Let's see what the script. We still got. And this is all like all the retcons and shit.
yeah, let's talk about the
Uh,
retcons. We could do that.
okay.
If,
The
if,
main
if
ones.
nothing else, it'll get Stoner Piccolo and Krillin a little up to date of what we're thinking about retconning because of all the changes and.
Right. Okay. So as far as like retcons involving uh Krillin and Stoner Piccolo, they're gonna be fighting Radazu at the Kami's Lookout instead of Garlic Jr. because that makes more sense.
So
And
basically,
then
what you're saying is the Garlic Jr. part of it didn't really pan out well. Which I will say
I mean, it
this,
was a good battle. I liked it, but I mean,
yeah.
it just doesn't make any fucking
Dude,
sense.
the Garlic Jr. thing should have been separate. That if there was one lesson I learned from this whole entire Turles saga is there's way too many fucking moving parts.
Yeah, there was.
In fact, one of the things that the GM said from from Stoner Piccolo and I's D&D session is that he had to learn as a GM to say no to people, and that's what I'm going to start doing. If we ever do a collaborative saga, which I would not want to do unless it's people I could trust, but if anybody ever wants a hot take to add in fucking insect aliens or Garlic Jr., I'm going to say no. It's like, no, we doing one thing at a time. Because like the Turles Saga, as good as it kind of, it's lucky it turned out that well, because there were certain points where it was about to fall apart, and I knew if that fell apart, the site was done, because it just, I mean, it couldn't go on from there. So
Yeah.
yeah, less is more now. That should be our new mantra. Less is more, our motto. So, which ties into the whole Z Team thing, where we're taking it back to Dragon Ball. You know, which should happen. We should literally take it back to Dragon Ball and then kind of expand out from there with the new generation. And like the older generation who survived are like now masters, or they're doing other things. You know, they're doing normie shit. So that'll be fun. But oh, go ahead. Go down the list of other stuff. Or do you want to add into that at all?
Yeah, I mean, we're basically getting rid of the bug people and replacing them with the Battalions,
Dude,
the fucking
I still say just
the
having,
alien people.
I just say
Well,
having.
see, where the Battalions are not gonna be like fighting with them. They're just gonna be the ones who give Turles his ships.
Yeah, just
That's
say that.
literally it.
Just say there's suppliers, because there is
They're not gonna
no
be actually fighting with them.
there is no memory from any of the RPers or the admins or the battalions being in that saga, so that shouldn't be shoehorned in.
Yeah,
Let's
they're
keep
just
it
fucking.
simple.
They're just suppliers.
Yeah, just keep it simple. They were the armed suppliers, and the Saiyans were the only ones that invaded Earth. That
Yeah.
because everybody remembers the Saiyans being there, because it's the Turles saga, you know. So
Right.
there you go. Yeah, let's not replace the fucking insects with another weird species nobody knows about.
No,
So
they're just the suppliers.
all right. I think we were gonna retcon. Yeah, so if those are the main things that were retconned from the Turles saga, the Demon Realm stuff has kind of been put on ice and kind of retconned for now. So now I got to go back and we got to do the part where Moth Violet makes the wish to find out she's a reincarnation. So that's going to be a major backstory for him thing where I'll have to get you, Blues. I'll have to get you, and I'll have to get Rikutsu in on that. So hopefully we can do that eventually. I'm putting that down the road, though. We're just going to assume that happened. And I'm also going to keep Moth Violet's bipolar disorder because it's just a side effect of using Dark Key. It makes her a bitch.
What other retcons do we have? We have. Let's
Everybody
see.
loves the retcons. I'll be right back.
During
I'm going to get some...
during during the invasion of planet Vegeta, Bardock manages to rescue Gine with help from Toma, but ends up dying in the process. And Toma and Gine manage to escape into space. Ooh. Uh, okay, and then for Act 1, yeah, it really goes the same, pretty much. Radazu is sent to kill Paragus, but the latter surrenders and switches factions. Zuka and Romanus are sent to kill General Zorn. Raditz battles Nappa. Turles defeats King Vegeta and usurps the throne. And Turles exterminates the dwindling Tuffle population, but many manage to escape, including one into space. Ooh. Let's see. Act 2. Turles heads to New Namek and orders Romanus, Radazu, and Zuka to gather the Dragon Balls. Paragus is left in charge of Planet Vegeta and forms a secret society of loyalists to King Vegeta. Toma uncovers secret coordinates from Bardock to planet Sadala, and he escapes there with Gine. So that's how we can have Toma get to fucking Sadala.
No,
Bardock gives him some fucking coordinates.
I thought Toma was... From what I talked to Krillin about, Toma was actually on the battle. He was at the Battle of Earth. That's why he's going to be in this...
Was he?
That's why he was going to be in... Yeah, that's why he was going to be in this Stellar Saiyan Twilight forum post where, like, you know, Corona takes him out of the star system after the battle, and then they're, like, arguing about where to go next. You know? So Toma was in the actual battle. In fact, you could actually go back in the backstory and post Toma and what battlefield he was on. Maybe he was fighting Bola. Maybe that's who Bola fought was Toma. They just didn't know each other, or that he didn't know that she was like.
Listen, I don't think Toma's evil though.
I mean, not all the Saiyans are evil that were terrorists. Some of them would just had to go
What?
along with it.
Okay. Let's see. Toma's just loyal. Okay. All right.
Yeah, because Saiyans will fight. I mean, they have to. It's their job to fight, so it doesn't really matter if they're good or evil. I mean, if you're in Saiyan society, you're a warrior. You know, I'm sure there's like Mandalorians. Some of them are nicer, and some of them are probably really they're dicks, but they're all warriors, and they all So that's how I kind of consider it. The idea that all the Saiyans are evil is just kind of retarded, even if are on Planet Vegeta. You know, there's
All right. So this is the retcon to the little arc where Goku went evil. After Chi-Chi falls into a coma, Goku gets a visit from a revived Babidi and contemplates becoming a Majin to gain enough power to stop the invasion, but is talked out of it by Oob, Future Gohan, and Goten.
Oh, I see you guys. You guys posted that old artwork I made. Yeah, that was actually the original concept of the Stellar Saiyan or the PTO Warlords. I wish I still used that guy. That's a great fucking artwork, man. I should have kept using that, but the bird guy was the big brains, and you know, the guy that looks kind of like Captain Ginyu was a leader. But I guess I didn't use it. So no, continue, Blues. I just put on the talk to speak channel so I can listen. I can actually communicate with Krillin. Sometimes I forget to do that. So like people will be talking to me the whole podcast, and I don't realize it because I forgot to put on the talk to speak channel or text channel. So carry on.
Right. Okay. So after Chi-Chi falls into a coma, Goku gets a visit from a revived Babidi and contemplates becoming a Majin to gain enough power to stop the invasion, but is talked out of it by Oob, Future Gohan, and Goten.
So that happened. I didn't.
Yeah, it's like his little heel moment. That's how we're explaining it.
I liked it, dude. Yeah, you guys were right. I should have kept the heel thing going. But the thing was, see, this is the problem with Zuka. Zuka's like hit or miss here, but when he's actually serious, like he plays future Gohan very well. To where like Goku was thinking about keeping up the heel so that way he could teach Goten and the others that they need to get stronger, and that relying on like Goku and Vegeta is dangerous for multiple reasons. Like, what if a villain came along and turned Vegeta and Goku evil somehow, or mind control? Like, they would be fucked because they rely too much on these characters. So Goku was teaching a good lesson. I don't care that Iona and Pan were criticizing it. They criticize everything. They're like, yeah, it's just like they complain like mid-age women or some shit. It's ridiculous sometimes. But I think that if you want to, I guess I would change it a lot because I think Goku snapped because of all the things that had happened, like Chi-Chi getting sick, the fact that he couldn't train as much.
But it's like he snaps, but it's like he gets a visit from Babidi, and he tries to tempt him, but it's like Goku's like no, but he still snaps, and then that's when he has his fight with Goten,
Yeah, that's
and
fine.
Goten goes Super Saiyan 2.
I mean, you don't really have to add the Babidi part, but I don't mind it. It just, it could just be Goku himself, being tempted, and this.
It sets up Babidi coming back later, I guess.
Okay. All right. I mean, that's no
You
big
can
deal
use
to me.
Babidi later.
But the biggest thing was that Zuka actually shined as future Gohan and convinced Goku to stop, because future Gohan was like, if you don't stop, I'm gonna stop you right now. And even I felt bad. Then I'm like, fuck, I can't keep doing this. I can't, because then it's gonna get too extreme to where Goku is actually a villain. You know, fighting his own future son and shit just to keep up the act. So,
Yeah, it's like Vegeta would have had to come and stop you.
I mean, we could expand on it, but it's like, do we want to put the time and effort into going back and exploring that when Goku was a heel? So, I mean, Just
We
depends.
could, but we don't have to.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got here. Uh, a brief battle with Astrid and Kira sets in motion a divide between the Z Warriors and the human fighters.
Between who and who?
The Z Warriors and the human fighters like Astrid and Kira and those
Oh yeah,
motherfuckers.
that stuff. Uh, I mean, the whole problem with that is that Astrid didn't finish what he started. It ended with an umph.
Yeah, we're not gonna go too far into that because it really didn't, pan out. We're just gonna make references to it. Romanus, Zuka, and Radazu battle Nail and the Warrior Clan as they search for the Dragon Balls on New Namek.
So that's a retcon, definitely. Yeah, that's good. I mean, I would say that Radaz and Ram even knew each other back during the Vegeta Saiyan Kingdom. Back in the original when King Vegeta was
Yeah,
in
they can be
charge.
friends. That's why he was he
Yeah,
felt so betrayed. He's
yeah.
like, I thought we were brothers.
So
Okay, so we got yeah, because we're taking out Kaksu.
yeah,
Uh,
Cax,
Goku continues training with Oob and the
Kakasu
Pendulum.
pissed me off, man. Like I don't know why.
Yeah,
That person's. I mean, I'm cool with it now, but I'd be very wary to have that person in any kind of like important role in a fucking saga. Besides being like the hero that comes and tries to stop him. Like there's no. I think if there. Sadly, I've become a lot more cautious when I'm in a GM position to where I'm not. If I don't know you, like I know you're good and Stoner Piccolo's good, but if I don't know you, like I can't do that shit because it just goes back to the Turles saga where it was a fucking mess. It's like we have to have like it's like a virus. You have to have containment to to make sure everything runs well. So yeah, I can't.
okay.
Yeah, that
Let's
was a
see.
lesson about Kakasau. That was a Kakasau lesson. Yes, I will roast
Uh,
you on this podcast. I don't care if you go back and listen to this. So if you do something wrong, I got to. I got to be the villain. Blues is the good guy, right? He's more of the neutral. We don't even have a
Excuse me.
good guy host yet.
Shit.
We don't have a good cop. Blues is like the neutral guy who's like half conscious during the podcast. I'm like the asshole.
I'm alright.
Yeah, you're all right.
Okay, let's see. The Z Warriors. This is the battle on New Namek. Z Warriors encounter Turles, the Saiyan Super Elite, and the Crusher Corps. A
Yeah,
destructive battle ensues. We're gonna have Goku and Vegeta versus Turles. It's a stalemate. Goku escapes with instant transmission. Future Trunks versus Romanus. Romanus ends up winning by using his dirty tricks. Krillin, Tien, Yamcha versus Zuka. Zuka wins and kills all three. Might just end up NPCing Zuka. Unless he's down. He might be down. Who knows? And then we have Android 17 versus Radazu. 17
look,
wins because of
let's
his stamina.
let's not gloss over it, Blues. We have a problem of flaky people right now that's plaguing the
Yeah,
site.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's
So
like I might just NPC Zuka. So
this is why I'm starting to rein it in. And there's a short list of people that I'll trust with anything of plot importance now. Like basically the people that are in the chat, and maybe Dick Falcon's down if it's on the forums. Like he's like the only.
yeah.
So everybody else is kind of like I don't even know if they're gonna be here. you know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say
Right.
that. I'm sorry. If you got a complaint, you can write me at my address, and you can tell me all about it, or you can come on the show and you can say how wrong I am. That's always fun. I like when somebody comes in and derails the podcast. That's some of the best parts of the show is you get random people. So you can do it either way. We'll make sure to let you know when the next one starts. So we're all ears. We're all ears here. So
We got Yeah. Turles uses Dragon Balls, makes 3 wishes
Yeah.
to increase the size of the army tenfold,
I always
to
just.
grant him.
I'm not gonna
Hmm?
lie. I always thought that wish was kind of weird because it's like how I don't ever I've never known the dragon just to create like characters like create new Saiyans out of thin air. So maybe we should retcon that one because it's weird. So
Okay.
there's literally Saiyans that were like they didn't have like a past life. They were literally just created out of thin air, and it's like your name's Salsa, and you're a Saiyan, and you know this chick would literally just be appeared to wish to life, and she's like, "Who am I? What am I doing here?" It's like, listen, you're a Saiyan warrior, and you're gonna come on a suicide campaign to Earth. Get with the fucking
Yeah.
program. So it's just it's a little if I wasn't a part of the staff, the inner circle, I would criticize the shit out of that. If I didn't like you, I would make sure you would know that that's retarded.
All right. Well, what should we replace that wish with then?
Um, he should have
Okay, so these are his three wishes.
he should have
To
wished
increase the
all
size of the army. Look. To
no
increase the size of the
instead
army,
of
to
increasing
grant
this
him and the super elite the power of Super Saiyan,
instead
and to have the location of Sadala.
instead of increasing the size of the army, he should wish that all his fallen warriors were revived up till then because he lost warriors on fuck no you can't do that because then Rom's henchmen come back. Fuck. I don't know, dude. Just think of something that Turles would wish for that wasn't like making characters out of thin air because it's just weird. I'm sorry to say that. I gotta criticize at least that one. All the rest are good. Because he wants to know the coordinates of Sadala. That's one. He wishes his inner circle to be stronger or to have Super Saiyan, right? Is that
Yeah.
the third one could be
You know what? I know what he could do. He could wish for like the ships.
fuck. You could even make it more interesting, and you could say nobody knows what he wished for. Maybe he wished he had a son, and he just hid him away somewhere. So there's actually a Turles' son somewhere out there. I don't know, or a daughter. So that way you have a villain in the future, and we just Rom and the rest of them kept it a secret this entire time, and she's like they hid her away or something, or I don't know. That might not work now because you think if Turles had wished a son into existence, which is a lot better than wishing a whole army into existence of Saiyans. You know, you think that character or kid would have played a major role, so that might not work. I don't know. I don't know. Unless you want to bring back Turles at some point, maybe he made a wish to where he would be revived at a later date, to where like if he failed, he wouldn't just be wished right back to where you know everybody would be looking for him. You know, I don't know. It depends.
Hmm.
Do you really want Turles to come back after all this? Because we've done a lot of Turles shit. Even if it's not him, it's been carried on in his name, kind of. I mean, they literally named a city after him. So it's up to you
Yeah.
on that one.
Uh, I don't know. We'll probably just keep the third wish unknown for now,
Yeah, I like that.
because it's really only two that matter.
Yeah, keep that one in your pocket, and so we'll just even when we write it down, we'll say the third wish was kept a secret from everybody. You know, and
Yeah.
only like his top commanders knew what the wish was, and they just never spoke about it. You know, maybe Radaza would
Yeah.
eventually speak about it to Iris or something, be like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about this wish," you know, and maybe it'd be some deep shit that could happen in the future. So I wish I was more clever. I could come up with something good, but I just can't think of anything right now. Maybe Stoner Piccolo has an idea. Let's throw Stoner Piccolo into this conversation.
What? What have you been talking about? I've been sorry. I have you guys in the background.
Yeah, we're deciding what would be a clever wish for Turles to make as his third and final wish because we had to retcon one of the wishes because it was just too silly.
What was his first two wishes?
His first
to for power, for Super Saiyan power for him and his commanders,
then to
and the
locate
second wish
the
was for the
pardon.
location of Sadala to be revealed.
Okay, so he wants to know where Sadala is at, and then he wants Super Saiyan for himself and his commanders.
Yeah.
A third wish, so I guess he's using Namekian Dragon Balls. So,
Yeah,
What if he? Well, no. Go ahead.
honestly, the best thing that he could do is I don't know if Shenron would be able to grant it, just off the top of my head. Wish that it would be incredibly difficult for anybody to track him to where he's going. Like if he, obviously his one wish is to find out where Sadala is. Make the last wish incredibly hard, or make it to where it's incredibly hard for anybody to track
Uh,
him to
you
where
know,
he's going.
you know what? That would have been a great wish if he had wished that nobody could sense or track his men's key. That would have been fucking genius. Jesus, that would have been such a good wish. Oh, I don't know how that would be hard to read.
Yeah, and then nobody's gonna fuck with him because like they can't find him.
Yeah.
I mean, Goku can't just sense where they're at and
Yeah.
teleport. Um,
well, see,
I
he
mean,
died
maybe
on
the
Earth,
Kai's
so
good or like the Supreme Kai, but I mean, I don't know.
that would have worked if he hadn't died on Earth.
No, it would have even bled over into the Stellar Sands because they would still be. I mean, anybody who would fight them would be at a disadvantage. That means Radaz and Rom, even though they're Super Saiyan, nobody could really sense their power level. So they would actually be extremely dangerous. But we'd have to literally retcon that into everything. But it is.
Yeah, that's a huge retcon.
That'd be fucking interesting, though. God, if we ever
Yeah.
redo Legends, that's gonna be the third wish, because it's so fucking good. It's like imagine Saiyan warriors, but with the advantage of the androids that you can't sense them. It changes everything because then they could use sneaky tactics and stuff a lot more efficiently than just suppressing your power level. So that's a good idea. Damn it, Piccolo, that was a good idea. We gotta get him something.
Sorry.
We're gonna give you we're gonna send you like a gift card for a 7-Eleven slushie or some shit. I don't.
There's no fucking 7-Elevens around me.
Oh, it's two. It's
Give me a Bell Stores card instead.
what a bell store? Bell store?
Yeah, yeah. You see, you don't even have that
No,
yet.
no.
It's like in Ohio and Pennsylvania and Indiana and fucking West Virginia type thing.
It definitely sounds like it because I've never heard of that.
All right. So for Act 3, these are the retcons. We got
Oh,
Oob
so
versus
you made a
Romanus at
list. You made a list of retcon. That's pretty good. I didn't know you did that.
yeah. For Act 3, it's gonna be Oob versus Romanus at the Tree of Might. Kira is the one who destroys the tree.
Yeah, as it should have been from the very beginning.
Rakutsu, Moth Violet, and Bulla versus Corsa and her battle team.
Well, basically, there were just random Saiyans there with Corsa that they would have fought. Basically.
Like, she can have her own little battle team. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
We got Future Trunks, Yamcha, Corvid 19,
That
Astrid, Miharu, and the ESF versus the Crusher Corps. We got Son Goku versus Raditz.
I actually like the face claim now of Corvid-19, but the name just is fucking cringe. It's hard. It doesn't roll off the tongue very well. It's
Corvid.
yeah. Sorry, Iona. I'm gonna take a few shots at you.
Yeah, they need
I
a
love you, man. I
they
love
need
you,
a name
man, but
change.
God damn that name.
But let's see. Son Goku versus Raditz.
Yeah. Wonder if there's gonna ever
We
be
got-
a rival podcast where they just talk shit about me all day. Like it's
Probably
gonna be the Atemo podcast, and it's gonna be like, man, that fucking Romanus guy, always doing all this bullshit, or it could be the Art Trio podcast. That'd be cool. Then it raises the stakes a little bit, you know.
And we got Piccolo, Krillin, Son Gohan, and Pan versus Radazu and his battle team at the Tree of Might.
That's cool.
And And then for the final battle, we got Vegeta and the Z Warriors versus Turles and the Imperial Elite
I didn't know they were called the
in West
Imperial
City.
Elite. I just figured it'd just be called Saiyan Elites.
Well, it's just like his personal fucking elites or some shit.
Alright.
And then we got Romanus and Commodore Corona order a recall and retreat of all forces to planet Sadala. Paragus becomes king upon Turles' death, and he starts to enact plans of his own.
Which are
Following the destruction, Pan sets out on her own to recover the Dragon Balls and undo the damage. The damage lasts for several months before being undone suddenly in an event known as the Restoration.
yeah, and there's consequences for that because now you have all these people restored. You forgot to wish their memories away, so now they know about the afterlife, and now they come back, and that actually plays into Mr. Anon and uh who's
Mech Maverick.
Maverick. Yeah, I like Mech Maverick, man. He's a cool dude. He's like an evil Iron Man, basically. Evil Iron Man. So, yeah, that sounds good to me, man. Like, I don't have any problems with it. Yeah, it's just really kind of fixing a few things, and we got to learn the lesson from this that, like, if we ever do a Turles invasion, like, it's basically, it. I don't know. I think if there's just lot less moving parts, it'll work. Like, we really should have took our time with the invasion of Vegeta and then the Namek part. And
Yeah, I'm condensing the Namek part, and and the invasion into Act 2, and we're gonna make the entire Stellar Saiyan plot Act 3. And it's gonna be like the final end of the saga. Even though we're not treating it as a saga right now, that's gonna be the final end of this plot is when, the Z teens defeat Romanus
yeah, it makes
on
sense to me.
Sadala. Then we got season 2, Aftermath.
The aftermath is basically after Oob and Rom's fight, and basically anybody who's been
5-year time skip.
yeah, if anybody's been like paying attention, because like I fucking try to drill it into people that like this. The best way I could explain it is how I explained it to you guys like a few days ago, where like this is kind of like what would happen in the galaxy if there was no like Goku or Galactic Patrol to stop these greedy villains and shit from just doing whatever they want. But instead of the villains fighting other heroes, they're fighting each other. Because like I was joking with Blues, it's like there's no like good guys in our space plot. Like they're all like neutrals and evil, and like
Yep.
because of that, they're not thinking of the greater good. When this is all over, like the best way I would describe space is it's more of a it's kind of like a dark age where like the civilized worlds they have enclaves now, but they don't have the ability to like control the galaxy like they used to. There's a lot of Wild West space where like it's petty warlords and like a lot of bounty hunters and space pirates are out there, and like the Galactic Patrol create the Galactic Marshals, and those are the guys that go out into that part of space.
Yeah, it's like I think the only two great powers of space, stellar powers, would be like Sorbit and fucking
Sorbit's dead. It can ask.
oh, Sorbit's gonna die.
So is Paragus. Where like I don't know.
Okay.
Like it's up to
Okay.
you who takes the reins on
Well, no,
Vegeta.
if Sorbit's gonna die, then I guess who would fill that vacuum is
It should have been Anzu, but she's not here enough. So
I guess we could eventually do like a PTO Warlord saga
we could,
later down the line
or just a
and use like
backstory.
your little artwork.
I don't know. It could. I mean, I would imagine because of all. And another thing is all the adult key fighters like the Saiyan Warriors, the PTO elites. Most of them are dead by now. Like I mean, just look at the Ginyu Force. They were all slaughtered just guarding the treasure. So the pool of soldiers to maintain these large empires are just not there. Most of the fleets were destroyed in battles, especially at Kanassa. So there's a shortage of ships and there's a shortage of men for at least a generation. They might be able to replace the ships, but they still don't have the crew members because they're all dead. So even if what you're gonna get some kids to pilot the ships, or maybe some droids, you know. But I mean, not all the civilizations use droid or robots the same way. But so really, there's just a shortage of soldiers right now. So if you want to go into space and be a mercenary, it'd probably be a great time because, I mean, there's probably a huge. I mean, you could probably get paid very well right now because there's a shortage of soldiers and a shortage of ships and a shortage of specialists. So it's just, it really is like a mini Dark Age, the best way. A mini Wild West Dark Age kind of setting. So that's also the irony because the great peace that you see where it's more Dragon Ball-ish, it's not really a peaceful. It's peaceful on Earth from their perspective, but in space it's more of a like a mini Dark Age where everybody's trying to recover. So I like that irony too. It's like, oh, everything's so nice on Earth. It's like, yeah, but going to space. see that.
It wasn't nice on Earth a couple fucking months ago.
Yeah. And the Knesset debris field, I want to be able to work on that on the forums. So you're going to have to give me permissions to do that, and I'll create all the locations and the lore.
The Knesset debris field. I might even add New Haven as a fucking location.
New Haven would
If you want to go there.
Yeah, you should.
People want to go there.
Any important locations, I think you should add. It'd be kind of cool from the lore that you think would be interesting. Yeah. So New Haven could be where like kind of the headquarters of space pirates, and you know, and bounty hunters maybe or something. A lot of criminal elements. Or like Frieza 79s, like or whatever. Or is it headquarters?
Well, Frieza 79 is Knesset.
Oh, I mean, that you know, Planet Cold or whatever is kind of the headquarters. Has always been the headquarters of the traditional. PO.
Yeah, we got Planet Cold.
Yeah.
It was just Frieza. I mean, Cooler was he was based on Planet Freon.
Yeah, the real challenge of a lot of these RPG sites that do DBZ is making these worlds like actually interesting. Like I've seen plenty of Frieza 79s, but never has there been one that's actually been that interesting to go to, unless you want to train with King Cold. Well, not Frieza 79, but usually there's like a Frieza capital world. It's usually called like Planet Cold, and it's they always usually do the same shit. It's a frozen planet where you can train with King Cold, and that's it. You gotta be a little bit more creative. Like, even though it's named Planet Cold, doesn't mean it has to be a freezing world. It's just their puns. Like, it could be the home world of the Changelings that Cold just renamed after himself. And actually, all the Changelings on the planet aren't actually that strong. They're just kind of mutant freaks. So you could actually meet a Changeling that's running like a deli or some shit, and he's just a normal person. And that'd be actually kind of hilarious because you'd think everybody thinks of the Changelings as super strong, but if you really think about it, if the Cold families are a bunch of mutants like from the actual canon, you could literally go.
Well, how do you explain Frost in Dragon Ball Super?
I don't fucking know, dude. DBZ canon's weird, even compared to like other canons like Star Wars and shit. At least Star Wars makes a little bit more sense half the time at least. And but that's the thing, Toriyama likes to keep things really open-ended because then he can go back and do whatever he wants. That's from what I've heard him say. So that's why I think it frustrates a lot of people because they're more into the lore and the details and they want to know like, oh, well, back in Dragon Ball age 79-60, they created this spaceship that was used by the PTO and it was mass-produced. It's like, Toriyama doesn't give a fuck about any of that shit.
Right.
But, like, I actually like that kind of stuff, like, because if you go to, like, Star Wars, or I'm sure even in Star Trek, they document all that shit. Like, you can find out when the first, like, X-Wing models were made and what planet, and what company made them and shit, and who was behind the creation of it. It's kind of like that with Gundam, too, especially UC Gundam. All that shit is documented, especially UC Gundam. They've really documented everything that's happened. as far as anime goes. So yeah, I guess we before we go, we should give them something exciting to look forward to. Because the retcons, I don't know if the retcons excited people, but what the what we have planned for the future with the Z Team should excite everybody because we're reining it back in. We're going back to basics basically because I feel like that's the move. With everything that's going on, I think that we've created enough lore, and what I really want to see is I want to see a lot of new people. So that's gonna take that. That's gonna be you on the advertising, but going back to like a new Dragon Ball with the characters that we got to kind of anchor it, but we also have the past lore to where this side is completely different from any other site, and yeah, everything's set up. Everything's good. I'm excited. If I'm excited about it, I feel like it's definitely going in a good direction. So I think Stoner
Yeah.
Piccolo's excited about it. I think a lot of people will be because it's more relatable to their characters too. Like, if it's more of a Dragon Ball adventure for now, anybody can really get into that. If they don't even have to be that creative to get into it. Just create a hero, dude, and just throw him in there, and I'm sure it'll be fine. So, or even have villains. It's not that
Yeah.
hard, people. It's not that hard. What do you think? Tell me your optimism about the Z teens, Stoner Piccolo and Blues. What's your optimism?
I mean, you already know.
Sorry, Blues is
You know,
high off
already.
life right now. He's just
Yeah,
so
I'm already
he's so
excited to play Oob and
Well,
Bulla.
as much as I hate the name, the Z Teens, which I know it's supposed to be cringy on purpose, and which
yeah.
makes it funny, so I'm cool with that. No, I think there's a good cast in there though. You have Oob, Sorora, Bola, Moth Violet, Urine, and
And
God,
Rakutsu.
I'm forgetting people.
Raccoon.
Rakutsu.
And that's
There's
it,
the
pretty much.
possibility of Pan and Marin, but I mean, who
Oh, yeah,
knows?
Panamer.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's
no,
true.
I think it's a nice setup, and it's definitely a cool thing to expand into the future rather than just stay
Yeah.
in a stagnant place in time and just be going through the same steps and paces that all of us DBZ fans have been going through for
Yeah.
20 fucking years now.
Yeah, I've also noticed on a lot of other sites they do stagnate. If there's not a lot of people around, they won't like move the story along. And I think if we keep this policy of moving it along no matter what, it keeps it fresh for new people. You know, and
You have to keep it fresh, or else you're not going to get enough new people.
yeah,
Because
exactly.
if there's no new people, eventually even the diehard fans are going to be like, ah, fuck. I'm
Yeah,
getting bored and I got other stuff going on in life right now. I'm just going to focus on other stuff. So,
yeah,
but if you keep it fresh, not only do you retain new fans, or I'm sorry, not only do you retain old fans, but you will gain new fans as well that are coming into the genre or this specific anime.
yeah. I definitely agree with all that, man. It is a really good setup. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better one. It's actually, in retrospect, this would have been a better setup than what we had originally did, honestly. But there wasn't the lore, the explanation behind it, so it actually worked out very well. So yeah, I guess we should explain. Yes, folks. Matter of fact, Blues is playing Bola now. He's decided to finally give in to his desire to be a Saiyan princess, and so we
Yep.
he resisted and he kept saying he wouldn't do it. He's like, oh fuck this, I don't, you're magic of bitches, but look at him now, look at him now.
Well, Bulla's not a magical bitch, so.
Yeah, and he actually the crazy part is he plays a really good Bola. Like it's so better than because the reason Blues could play a really good Bola is because I think Bola for on a lot of sites is like Bola's kind of a cop out if you just want to play a character that doesn't like do anything like far as fighting. It's one of those type of RPers that just doesn't want to. It just wants to RP and write a lot. But if you give blues or a person who likes to fight Ebola and they're a little bit creative, it actually can turn out very well. Especially use elements from her parents or influences. So yeah, I haven't been excited. I don't think I've ever been this excited about Ebola. So I will say that, Blues, you've done good. You'll make it interesting for a lot of people because like I said, if new people come and they see your Bola, they're gonna be like, oh shit, she's not like the GT Bola. Like she actually is kind of she has a personality. She could be a bitch and she smart and she could fight and she So yeah, I like the way you play her. So don't stop doing that. Don't let me come in there one day and you're playing GT Bola. Be like, well, no, we had something going.
Yeah, I'm gonna play like super girly bullet just to
Yeah.
fuck up your vision.
Yeah, just fuck it up and ruin my.
Oh, are you gonna go shopping?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like urine and bullet are gonna go shopping.
I mean, they could go shopping, but it's like not their like the core of them, like just doing slice of life stuff all the time.
That's what we're gonna do all the time.
Yeah. Okay. Like I don't mind. Like I'll even RP Dalia going with urine and Bola to the mall, but like that's not gonna be like, hey, let's do that every week, or let's change the setting. Let's go to the beach. It's like, okay, but yeah, there's like other stuff we should do that's more important.
Let's go to the hair salon.
Hair salon. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know if that I don't think that could be the core of what we do is just go around West City. Like it's like what would it be like? No, I can't even compare it to Totally Spies because they actually do action. It'd be like I can't even think of a show. I can't think of anything.
Be like fucking Hannah Montana.
Yeah, it'd be like Hannah Montana. Nobody wants that. This is a DBZ site. That's what I tell people. It's like people who don't want to fight at all. I'm like, why are you like? Why would you want to come on a shonen site where it's about fighting? You know, you could even be a support character, but you still have to like go in the field and help out. But I don't know. People are weird like that. I think some people just like because their friends are on the site, so they just like, well, I'm not a fighter, but I'll play.
I want to play Videl cooking.
Yeah, Videl cooking. It's a great example because I've seen that before. See,
I want to play Videl cooking while Gohan reads a book at the desk.
I'll just make an alternate Videl where she actually wanted to keep training, so she's actually kind of strong. That'd be cool, or something. I don't know. So many angles you can go in to change a character. So I don't know. I think that's it for the podcast. Now there's still a lot to go over. I didn't talk about my adventures offsite where I went to Summit and got automatically kicked off because Tim is still mad at me. Or
well, this is just a short podcast for the new year.
Or I went to yeah.
This is a shorty.
Just letting you guys know we're still alive and we're still doing the site. Should we do at the end of the podcast? Should we like let them know where the site's at? So if somebody like stumbles upon this and they're like, "What the fuck are these people talking about?" and they don't know where the site is, so Blues, it's your responsibility now at the end of the show to kind of like go through a very redundant like, "Hey, meet us at this place." How would you even go by doing that? Would you say like
www.dblegends.jsync.com? Should catch you there. Catch you there, stinkers.
Is that really what it is? What is it?
Yes. Well, no, it's just dblegends.jsync.net.
Yeah,
or you could just put the fucking link in the goddamn description of the video.
Yeah, we need to do that. That's like an upgraded move right there, Blues. I guess I got to do that. So, fuck, I got to do more work.
Yeah, here it's in Talk to Speak.
Yeah, folks, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna add it to the episode header from now on.
Or you can just follow my voice at dblegends.jsync.com. .net.
Yeah, you're gonna have to start practicing that. That's your homework, Blues. You got to start so that way when we end the podcast, you're like a robot. You just go right into it, and you say it snappy to where people feel welcome. That's gonna be a game changer. And I guess I'll also add it to the header too. But I want you to be like a robot. I'll say like
Catch us at
yeah.
dblegends.jsync.net. You must have dial-up to connect.
You're gonna be like an MK Ultra like JFK assassin to where I say like, okay, and we end the show and it's like that phrase, and then you just go right into it, like a brainwashed assassin.
You
Don't add
must
the
have
link to
dial-up to
the
connect.
title. Add it to the description of the video, not the title.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
Rom, you idiot.
Look, I mean, I guess I didn't even think of doing that.
How many fucking of these podcasts have you posted on YouTube by now? Come on, just put the link in
Yeah,
the
Rom, you
description for
Yeah.
idiot.
fuck's sake.
Yeah,
Yeah, Rom, you idiot.
look. I mean, this is why this is basically practice for when we get serious about this. So see, now we've learned something new. Stoner Pickle has taught us all a lesson. About running a podcast.
He
And
shouldn't have
My
had to teach
entire
you.
job around here is teaching you fuckers lessons. God damn it!
Yeah, that's what he feels. He fulfills that role. So we all learned something here today.
He is the drunkle.
The drunkle Piccolo.
Click on the link or get fucked.
Yeah. That's gonna be the move. But I mean, we still should have you as backup MK Ultra Blues. So when we say it's the end of the show, you just automatically just say it. So somehow we're gonna have to beat you and torture you until you know that from memory.
Why? It's my fucking site. Why wouldn't I remember to say it at the end?
Because we want you to be efficient like a mindless robot killer.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
got you.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like if we wanted you to kill JFK. We gotta say
Oh,
the phrase.
no.
Snap into it. You just snap into it.
I don't think Lee Harvey Oswald just snapped into it. I think it's building up over several months.
You never know. You never know, man.
I think it was building up over several months.
I'm glad how we just went from anime just to straight up conspiracy. It's like that's what we do here. We give you.
Hey, you can't prove that I'm not wrong.
Yeah. I also wanted to. I guess I forgot to talk about it. I think moving forward, we're gonna try to talk more. Well, we do talk about news, just to give us our hot takes, because there are some sites where they never talk about like normie shit, so you never know where they stand. We here at
Right.
Legends, we'll let you know how we feel about everything, whether you like it or not. So, but we will try to focus more on the site and the plot, but we will still give you a little bit of news and normie news and what else do we talk about usually on the show? We talk about anime.
Like anime and comic books and shit,
Media.
nerd shit.
Yeah, we're gonna fill a lot of that movie part with the Mandalorian because that shit's amazing. So, but I guess we shouldn't do spoilers because we're gonna piss off somebody, or maybe we can. Like, who cares?
Why are you spoiling the Mandalorian?
Yeah. I guess we'll just tell them like warning spoilers. So if you don't want to listen to it, like that's a
Tune out if you don't want to hear spoilers.
Yeah, that's a professional way of doing it. So yeah, and we'll have some more pre-show dojos, I'm sure, because sometimes when we're off air, or we're just not being, we're prepping for the show, we actually have better conversations than actual show, because we get it all out there. We get all our expressive arts music out there. I think that's what you would call it. So
Yeah.
all right. So we'll end it here,
Yeah.
folks. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you get what's going on the site. And go Blues, MK Ultra, snap into it.
All right, everybody. Join us at dblegends.jsync.net.
Yes.
Link in description. Don't forget to subscribe. All that YouTuber shit.
Now we really do sound like a YouTube channel now. It's getting good.
Don't forget to subscribe, like the video.
Yeah. And also buy some
Alright.
you can buy some Moth Violet Ridge wallets or t-shirts. I don't have the site up or the materials yet, but keep that in your mind. You want to get a Moth Girl t-shirt to show off to your friends and family. It's coming. It's coming down the pipeline. Well, guess. All right. So we end it there. See ya, folks. Oops. Oops.